US politicians have written to the UK and other key allies asking them to reverse their plans to recognise Palestine as a state. They say the move would empower Hamas and threaten Israel's security. Well, the Prime Minister is widely expected to announce the UK's formal recognition of Palestine as early as tomorrow. Well, Emma Volney is here. Emma, what does this letter from the American politicians say, and how much weight is it likely to carry?
Well, the letter calls on them to oppose efforts to legitimise a Palestinian state at the upcoming United Nations General Assembly meeting in New York. They describe it as a reckless policy that undermines prospects for peace and that it sets a dangerous precedent that violence, not diplomacy, is the most expedient means for terrorist groups like Hamas to achieve their political aims, with US House of Representatives Speaker Mike Johnson calling the move deeply troubling and baffling before Hamas have returned every hostage. Of course, it was back in July that the Prime Minister announced plans to formally recognise Palestine in the absence of steps being taken towards peace in Gaza. And since then, of course, the fighting has continued and the humanitarian crisis there has deepened. But this all comes just days after President Trump's state visit to the UK, in which he said he disagreed with recognition, although he didn't repeat previous comments that it would reward Hamas. So the Prime Minister is actually under pressure on both sides, because on the one hand, he doesn't want to upset the United States and cause a diplomatic war with Israel, but on the other hand, he's actually got over 100 of his own MPs having signed their own letter in the Labour Party supporting moves for a Palestinian state, with more than 140 countries, UN member states, including Ireland, Spain and Norway, having already recognised Palestine. And as you say, we are expecting something on this from the UK government as early as tomorrow.